I need every single person watching this video to stop exactly what you are doing right now. Put your phones on silent, close out of whatever other tabs you have open on your browser, and just sit down and listen to me. I am sitting here in my studio, staring at the official tournament draw for the upcoming quarterfinals, and I have actual genuine goosebumps running down my arms because the absolute dream scenario has just mathematically materialized. The mainstream sports networks are about to start running their generic, highly polished television promo packages for this matchup, and they are going to try to sell you a very simple, very lazy, and completely manufactured narrative. You are going to see all the YouTube thumbnails tomorrow morning plastered with neon letters and shocked faces, framing this as a standard David versus Goliath story. They are going to tell you that Coco Gauff, the reigning American superstar, the Grand Slam champion, the absolute face of modern athletic power, is walking into this quarterfinal as the heavy, undisputed favorite against the rising, gritty underdog. I am telling you right now, as someone who spends hours poring over the raw, unfiltered, completely unbiased data of every single match these two women have played, the mainstream media is absolutely fundamentally terrified to tell you the truth. The truth is that we are not just looking at a tennis match. We are about to witness an epic, brutal, terrifying collision of two completely opposing statistical paradoxes, and it is going to be an absolute, unadulterated bloodbath on the baseline from the very first strike of the ball. This is the irresistible force meeting the immovable object, and I am going to break down exactly why this specific matchup is going to completely short-circuit the entire tennis world. Before we dive into the specific tactical breakdown of why this match is going to break the internet, I have to take a second to speak directly to the people who actually made this happen, the people who saw this coming from a mile away. I need to talk to the Eala army, and I need to talk to the die-hard Coco Gauff defenders. Because the energy surrounding this quarterfinal is not just happening on the court, it is happening in the stands, it is happening in the comments sections, and it is happening across the entire global tennis community. To the Ayah fans, you guys have been telling the tennis establishment for months that Alexandra was a generational talent. You saw her grinding through the lower-level tournaments, you saw her meticulous footwork, you saw her incredibly high tennis IQ, and you built an absolute fortress of support around her. The commentators laughed it off, saying she didn't have the raw power to compete with the heavy hitters, but you willed her into this moment. And to the Coco fans, you have watched your girl carry the unbelievable, suffocating weight of American tennis expectations on her shoulders since she was 15 years old. You have watched her fight through swing changes, coaching changes, and mechanical crises, and you have watched her win ugly, gritty matches purely on heart and freakish athleticism. The energy that both of these fan bases bring is going to turn center court into an absolute pressure cooker. When these two walk out of the tunnel, the atmosphere is going to be so thick you could cut it with a knife. This is not just a quarterfinal, this is a cultural moment for the sport. To understand why this specific matchup is going to completely break the tactical foundation of modern tennis, we have to deeply, honestly analyze the massive, glaring crisis currently happening on Coco Gauff's side of the net. I have been tracking Coco's data all season, and what I am seeing is a player who is surviving purely on freakish athleticism and sheer stubborn arrogance, because her mechanical serving game is completely falling apart. We have to be real about this. Coco Gauff has been stepping up to the service line and committing an absolute massacre of double faults. We have watched her hit 12, sometimes 16 double faults in a single match. I want you to really put yourself in her shoes and imagine the psychological torture of that. She is completely lost in her own service motion. Her first serve percentage has been hovering in the abysmal low 40s, meaning she is constantly, predictably relying on a weak, nervous second serve. She is bleeding free points. She is actively handing her opponents entire games without them ever having to swing a racket. In any normal universe, a player serving like that gets blown off the court in under an hour. But here is the absolute terrifying paradox of Coco Gauff and why she is a Grand Slam champion. Despite having a service motion that is actively sabotaging her, she refuses to die. She possesses this terrifying, cold-blooded clutch factor where she just completely dominates the baseline rallies when her back is pinned against the absolute wall. Coco wins by dragging her opponents into a chaotic, messy, ugly street fight. She basically says, "Okay, my serve is a disaster, I am giving you free points, but the second the ball is in play, I am going to run you into the ground." She covers the court faster than any woman on the planet. She retrieves balls that are mathematically impossible to reach. She beats players with raw power, defensive brilliance, and athletic intimidation when the pressure peaks. She relies entirely on the fact that her opponents will eventually get scared, tighten up, and fold under the immense physical stress of trying to hit a clean winner past her. Coco is the ultimate survivor. She is an apex predator who is most dangerous when she is wounded. But now, we have to look across the net. We have to look at the absolute worst possible tactical nightmare that Coco Gauff could ever face in her current mechanical state. We have to talk about Alexandra Eala. If Coco Gauff is the ultimate chaotic survivor, Alexandra Eala is the cold, calculated, deeply intelligent baseline assassin. You cannot intimidate Alexandra Eala. You cannot drag her into a chaotic street fight and expect her to panic, because the grinding, grueling baseline exchange is her absolute kingdom. We have been watching Ayah completely dismantle seasoned, highly tactical veterans all tournament without hitting a single ace, 0 free points. Think about the physical and mental discipline that requires every single point she wins is a lung-burning masterclass in point construction, heavy topspin, and absolute physical endurance. She voluntarily plays the game on the absolute highest difficulty setting, giving up the easiest weapon in the sport, and she still suffocates her opponents. And this is where the statistical collision happens. This is where the match is going to be decided. Elise has been putting up freakish, statistically impossible win rates on her second serve. We have seen her win over 70% of her second serve points. She has turned the most vulnerable shot in tennis into an impenetrable fortress. So I am sitting here asking myself, what happens when Coco Gauff's broken, wildly inconsistent service game meets Alexandra Eala's relentless, unbothered baseline consistency? If Coco Gauff steps onto center court and thinks she can hand Ayah a dozen double faults and still win the match from the baseline, she is walking directly into a wood chipper. Ayah's entire game is built on punishing inconsistency. When Coco misses that first serve, the Ayah army is going to roar, the stadium is going to shake, and Ayah is going to step aggressively inside the baseline with absolutely zero fear. She is going to take Coco's nervous second serves incredibly early, rob the American of her precious reaction time, and force her to hit impossible shots on the dead run. If Ayah does not go for crazy low-percentage winners, she hits heavy, deep, violently spinning balls that slowly drain the life and the confidence out of the player across the net. This epic quarterfinal is going to be decided entirely in the microscopic, invisible margins of mental warfare. It is not about who hits the hardest forehand. It is about who blinks first when the score is locked at 5-all in the third set. Coco Gauff thrives on being the alpha. She feeds off the fear in her opponent's eyes when she tracks down a drop shot and rips a passing shot down the line. But when Coco looks across the net on Tuesday, she is not going to see fear. She is going to see Ayah calmly bouncing the ball, completely unfazed by Coco's speed, ready to hit a 30-shot rally if that is what it takes to win the point. Imagine the suffocating pressure on Coco Gauff when she tosses the ball up for a second serve at 30-40, knowing that if she misses by a fraction of an inch, Ayah is not going to miss the return. Coco's arm is going to feel like it weighs 1,000 pounds. She knows she cannot rely on free points, and she knows that Ayah will happily absorb every single ounce of pace Coco throws at her. Ayah is going to deeply test Coco's patience. She is going to test her cardiovascular conditioning. And most importantly, she is going to completely test her absolute sanity. We have seen Ayah rattle off 7 consecutive games against veterans by simply refusing to miss. If she gets into Coco's head early, if she secures 1 or 2 early breaks of serve because of Coco's double faults, we could witness a methodical, clinical dismantling of the American superstar. But we also cannot underestimate the heart of a champion. Coco Gauff has been in these dark, terrifying places before. She has been down a set and a break, fighting her own serve, fighting the crowd, and she has found a way to dig her fingernails into the dirt and pull herself out. If Coco can somehow miraculously find a rhythm on her first serve, if she can land 60 or 70% of her first deliveries, the entire dynamic of the match flips. Suddenly, Ayah is the one being pushed backwards. Suddenly, Ayah's lack of aces becomes a massive liability because Coco is going to be returning with absolute venom. If Coco can turn this into a pure sprinting contest, a pure contest of explosive power, she has the upper hand. The question is, can Coco's mechanics hold up under the relentless probing pressure of Ayah's baseline game? Will Coco accept the reality that she has to play long rallies, or will she panic, try to end the points too early, and start spraying unforced errors into the bottom of the net? This is why I am losing my mind over this matchup. It is the perfect clash of styles. It is the raw, unbridled, slightly chaotic athletic genius of Coco Gauff against the meticulous, highly disciplined baseline geometry of Alexandra Eala. The media wants to desperately sell you a narrative of American dominance, but the raw data, the underlying mathematics of how these two women actually play tennis right now, screams that this is a coin flip. Ayah is the perfect, scientifically designed kryptonite for a player struggling with mechanical consistency. She does not need aces, she does not need cheap points, she just needs her racket, a baseline, and the unwavering roar of her fans. But Coco Gauff is the ultimate wildcard. She defies statistics, she breaks the models, she wins when the numbers say she should lose. This is the exact moment where potential transforms into absolute reality for both of them. This is the match that defines entire seasons. If Ayah can survive the initial onslaught, if she can weather the first 4 or 5 games where Coco comes out firing on pure adrenaline and nervous energy, the match is going to slowly, inevitably turn into a grinding, tactical chess match. And in a tactical chess match, the player who makes the fewest unforced errors usually walks away with the trophy. I want to know exactly what both of these fan bases are feeling right now as we inch closer to this massive collision. Are you guys nervous? Are you absolutely convinced that Eala's baseline dominance is going to expose Coco's serving crisis? Or do you think Coco's Grand Slam experience and elite speed are going to be simply too much for the young star to handle? How incredibly loud is it going to be when Eala rips her first passing shot, or when Coco saves a breakpoint with a massive forehand winner? I need you to absolutely flood the comments section right now with your predictions, your tactical breakdowns, and your energy. Show the YouTube algorithm exactly how massive and how dedicated this tennis community truly is. Do you think Eala is going to target Coco's forehand and force the unforced errors, or is she going to just aggressively attack every single second serve that floats over the net? Do you think Coco is going to fix her toss in time, or is she going to have to rely entirely on her defense again? Tell me exactly how you see this epic quarterfinal playing out. Make sure you hit that like button to push this unfiltered, data-driven analysis to the top of the feed so everyone can see the real truth about this matchup before the broadcast networks try to spin it. Subscribe to the channel right now, turn on those notifications, get your snacks ready, clear your schedule, and prepare yourselves for an absolute war on center court. Because Alex Eala and Coco Gauff are about to step onto the baseline, and the entire tennis world is completely unprepared for the statistical anomaly that is about to unfold. I will see you guys for the immediate, unscripted post-match breakdown, the absolute second the final point is played.